Hi there. I'm Eamon Hurd. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm a 2020 BFA graduating actor from the theater school at DePaul University.
We are living together in an extraordinary time, and you are activist oriented. How does your training as an actor allow you to understand the world in its current condition?
As a blanket statement, I think actors and artists in general operate more from the heart than anything else. So I think we are able to perceive these kinds of issues more than people who are maybe more logically focused.
Right.
But also, actors deal with coming up with different tactics to get things done in their work every day, and also taking on characters without any judgment attached, right?
Right.
So
So, of course, your senior year was cut off abruptly by the quarantine. What did you miss in your DePaul acting training that was planned? And how did you get a taste of it, even in the quarantine situation? How were they adapting? How were you adapting? I guess is the question.
sure. So to address what we missed, all of the live shows were canceled. Our senior year showcase, where we were going to travel to New York and LA, were
Right.
also canceled, and we had all bought plane tickets ahead of time and stuff like that, and it was pretty it was devastating at the time. But and also all of our classes were moved to Zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, doing African dance over Zoom is different than in person. I don't know if it's better. I think it's probably better in person. But it still, got done. We
Right.
still did Zoom improv, which was at first, intimidating because,
Yeah.
you're not there in person. You can't really feed off of energy or anything like that.
Right.
But it was possible. We figured out a way to do it. And so I think obviously we weren't able to replicate the feeling of being in person for obvious reasons, but I think we still learned a lot of the technical side of our craft.
So you picked for your graduate showcase a monologue from the play Wholeness by Lily Padilla. What about that short set of words inspired you to pick that scene?
Um, just because it was funny. I mean, I was laughing. I was laughing reading it. The character in the script is written as like the descriptions are like he's white, he's privileged, he's probably been divorced, he's at a rehab circle, and he has a judgment on meditation, which I think I personally do. I don't know, like I don't meditate normal life. Um, so it's like that's relatable. And then he's actually being affected by the meditation that he had, and it's like really hacking his brain. I just thought it was like such a funny situation. So I was like, yeah, I'll do this one.
Very good. Very good. I thought you nailed
That
it,
was
by the
great.
way, sir. I really
Oh, thank you.
love the way you approach the both the comedy and the emotions in that scene. So let's talk a little more. As you were working that monologue and as you were getting feedback from that work, what becomes the greatest preparation point in that process, right before expressing what became the final project? So, how many takes were you doing along the process? And yeah,
Right. So I was introduced to that monologue earlier this year. I actually, time,
yeah, it's
I can't
irrelevant.
even remember anything. But I think it was at the beginning of the year, like fall quarter of our senior year, is when I was introduced to that monologue. And I did some coaching with some really good professors on it. So that was when I worked out a lot of okay, so it has to be a slow build, right?
Right,
He can't just come out of the gate screaming and angry because then it just doesn't go anywhere.
right,
And there's also definitive moments in the scene, right? Of like I raise my hand, I get permission to stand in front of the group and speak. Then I go with my spiel, and then it's over. Like making sure each moment of the scene was carefully planned out. In terms of recording it, it was more of a challenge to set it up. I had the red background you see is actually a blanket that I duct taped to a wall, and I cropped it so that you couldn't see any of the blanket stuff. And doing takes and then watching them back. I mean, like, oh, I could have eased up there, or I could have focused in more there, and that can get dangerous because, like, personally, I am a bit of a obsessive perfectionist type of person, and so when I see like, oh man, I really like the smallest thing will like make me want to do another take. So I just did a bunch of takes and reviewed them all, and eventually I got to the right one. Yeah.
Perfect. Every actor wants the opportunity to keep expanding the boundaries of performance art. What boundaries do we need to expand in 21st century performance as it is today, in your opinion?
So what I really want to see in the future is more like really weird casting, like more transformative casting. Like really old people playing young characters, or the opposite, or people who identify as male playing people who identify as female, or switching race roles tastefully, obviously, or like people playing animals or demons or these like more fantastical characters. I think there will always be a place in theater and film for I guess it's like normative or like more binary casting. Like,
Right.
oh, this guy is a white guy, so we'll get a white guy to play him. But there is nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing more entertaining than watching someone who you would never expect to be able to step into a certain pair of shoes, step into those shoes, right? Just like take over the role like with full commitment and full power. Like, in my opinion, like that versatility is like, you cannot like that is when you are a good actor, right? When you can do anything. So I think more opportunities for that to happen would be amazing.
Very good. This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2020.